On April 17, 2023, Troy University inducted 7 new members into the Troy Sports Hall of Fame as this 11th class was welcomed into the hall. The new inductees joined the 68 previous honorees, all immortalized now as the men and women who made Troy sports history. Truly the best of the best. Those who built the legacy of championship sports that represent Troy University.
On behalf of the Troy Sports Hall of Fame, Troy Athletics, and Troy University, I'd like to welcome you to the 2023 Troy Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet. My name is Barry McKnight, and for those of you who have been here before, on behalf of this great university, I would like to say welcome back. To those of you who are here for the first time, maybe in conjunction with an inductee tonight, we'd like to issue you the very heartiest of welcomes and congratulations. We've got a full program tonight, a lot of memories to be made, a lot of people to honor, and a lot of reminiscences from each and every one of us, so we sincerely hope you enjoy the night. To begin, officially, we'll bring in for a welcome on behalf of the Troy Athletics Department, the Director of Athletics at Troy University, Mr. Brent Jones.
Thank you, Barry. What a special night this is. As I travel around the country and go to different banquets, especially Hall of Fame banquets, I always come back to thinking about how special this one is. It doesn't matter if it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which DeMarcus Ware will be going into in August. It doesn't matter if it's high school or other colleges. Troy University Sports Hall of Fame is one of the best and most well put on events out there. It's not without tons of work as well as dedication. And I appreciate all of our staff as well as the community who continue to step up to put on this amazing event. Thank you to our Board of Trustees, as well as to Chancellor Hawkins and Mrs. Hawkins, as well as to all of our staff, as well as Sodexo for preparing this amazing meal. I will tell you this. 2 years ago, we had our induction ceremony with combined classes because of COVID. It was one of the most special things that we did. Congratulations to the 7 inductees that will now be part of our 2023 class. I learned a long time ago, though, not to stand in the way of food. And I will be very brief with this. So have a great night. Enjoy this amazing, spectacular event. Thank you.
Now, as the saying goes, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame class of 2023. Everybody, please remain standing and join Miss Sheila Jackson for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what Oh, so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does their star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yes, to bless this event and our food this evening, we bring for our invocation athletic department mentor Lonnie Cochran.
Let's pray together. Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for this occasion, those who are being honored tonight, and we thank you for just the many blessings that you've given us, and tonight is no exception. Lord, we pray that you would just bless the food that we're going to receive. We are extremely thankful, and we do not take it for granted. And so, Lord, you have been gracious to us, and I pray that you would bless this time that we extend throughout this night. We love you. We thank you for loving us. In your name we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. Next, and this has become a thing, as you can probably tell anytime Sheila Jackson is present. We do invite you to enjoy your meal now. You may begin to eat, and Sheila will help entertain us, the fabulous Sheila Jackson. Remember, when she's singing, don't forget to eat. You may eat. We encourage you to eat while she's singing. First, our fabulous Sheila Jackson, followed by a few of Troy University's finest from the music department's jazz combo. Again, thank you for being here. Enjoy your meal, and welcome to Troy.
There's a hero when you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer when you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you felt will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love when you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you felt will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Lord knows dreams are hard to follow. Don't let anyone tell them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find a way. Oh, and then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Honor Reeves, Coach Hollis, Mike Amos, a hero lies in you. Hero lies in you.
As we continue on, I'd like to acknowledge several individuals very important to Troy University. I'd like to thank our Board of Trustees for their continued support and leadership of Troy University. Mrs. Karen Carter, Mr. Gerald Dial, General Ed Kroll, Mr. Cam Ward, and Mr. Roy Drinkard. Thank you to the trustees for your leadership and stewardship of this great university. For those of you who were here at the last banquet in 2021, it was a spectacular event. Due to the pandemic, you'll remember we combined the 9th and 10th Hall of Fame classes and inducted 9 members into the Hall. The 9 inductees were Barney Burnett, Nancy Swanson, Leon Davis, Rachel Gravel, Max Howell, Colonel Mark King, Colin McCrary, Jude Rinaldi, and Andy Whitener. With these and all previous Troy University Hall of Fame inductees, please stand and be recognized. Also, I would be remiss if we did not continue to thank our sponsors, our platinum corporate supporters of this event. Thank you to Troy Bank and Trust and Jeff Curvin, as well as the City of Troy, its councilman and Mayor Reeves, for their sponsorship of this event. Truly, thank you very much. Now, for a few words on behalf of the Troy University's Board of Trustees, General Ed Kroll.
Thank you. It is indeed a pleasure for me to stand before you tonight and to bring greetings on behalf of the Troy University Board of Trustees. I have the pleasure of serving with probably, and I won't say I'll take probably out, I'll have the pleasure of serving with the best Board of Trustees in the country. And we are very, very synergistic. We come in with primary and predominant focus on the students of the university, and we work very, very diligently in that part. Troy University has about as good of a plan as anybody I know in utilizing the services of individuals while they're on campus. I've been here most of the day. I've been involved in the National Panhellenic Council today. I've had lunch with the heroes. I was on the field at the football venue today, and now this momentous occasion. And I'm just getting started. But that is what Trojan is all about. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the inductees tonight. You've made your medal, and now you're being honored in that regard. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those in the past and those that are coming along, because I know that will happen. So thank you very, very much, and it is indeed a pleasure to be in your midst.
It's always a great pleasure and a continued honor to bring forth our next speaker, the Chancellor of Troy University, Dr. Jack Hawkins, Jr.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry, and thanks I'm sorry Mayor Earl Johnson couldn't be with us. He was a bit under the weather tonight. This is the first time in 11 induction ceremonies he hasn't been able to be with us, but I know that he's here in spirit. I want to thank our Board of Advisors that worked so diligently in bringing all of us together through the nomination and selection and recommendation of the nominees and the honorees who will be recognized and honored tonight. Brent, I want to thank you and the staff. This continues to be refined as a Hall of Fame ceremony, from the food to the beautiful flowers to the wonderful, wonderful meal that we've enjoyed, and that dessert was scrumptious. So I hope all of you enjoyed it as much as we did here at the front table. I want to particularly congratulate the members of the class, the 11th class, the class of 2023. And every time I come into this beautiful setting, I'm mindful of the progress that has been experienced in Trojan athletics since Virgil Parks McKinley put that first team on the field in 1909. We continue to lay one brick at a time, and I think in the ultimate, the outcome will be a great cathedral and not just a wall. And so I'm really mindful of all those who have given so much to the program. There was a great Mobilian who was a Hall of Fame pitcher, baseball, named Satchel Paige. He was an extraordinary man, had lots of sayings, and one thing that he shared on occasion was, he said, "Don't look back. Something or someone might be gaining on you." Well, tonight is a time when we not only look back and celebrate the careers of our honorees, but we also seize this moment to look ahead. I hope as you've driven around the campus, you've seen some symbols of progress. I want to thank our Board of Trustees for being diligent, and I want to thank our administrative team for their good work, certainly our faculty and staff. What you see going up across the street is a new health science building. That'll be the new home for our College of Health and Human Services, where we have nursing, kinesiology, exercise science, athletic training, and other developing programs. On the quad If you've driven by the quad, you've seen under construction a new building that will be dedicated to research, which excites all of us at the university because that's the trajectory of the university that will help this institution fully mature as a major university as we enter research. And that primary focus at this point is in polymer science. It's extending way beyond that. I can see the day when we are truly a research university. And then we have on the hill going up as an addition to our baseball facility, a new addition there that I truly believe will make it the gem of the Sun Belt Conference. Best facilities in the conference. And we often say, and I hear others say, why not Troy? And why not Troy? Why can't we become a research university? Why not Troy? We have in my opinion, particularly in athletics, we have the best facilities in the Sun Belt Conference. We have great tradition, and we're seeing another layer of tradition tonight added to that great tradition. We also have the right coaches, the right players, the right staff, the right leadership. I believe we're poised for the best years yet. It's exciting, and why not Troy? I know there are people in this room tonight who were part of a great conversation more than 3 decades ago. People like Mike Amos and Benny Beard, the late Doug Hawkins, Wiley Locklear, Nick Severa, and so many others who talked about a grand vision. And that vision was to go to the next level. Why not Troy? They believed it. And who would have believed in the early 1990s that one day Troy University would be ranked in the top 20 football programs in this country? We did actually better than that. We were 19. And why not Troy? You know, the college football playoff just increased from 4 to 12 the number of playoff teams. Why not Troy? Why can't we be one of those teams? Why not Troy? Women's basketball. Our women under Shanda Rigby, they've won 5 out of the last 8 years, the Sun Belt Conference. And last year, many of you watched, and incidentally, we've averaged 21 wins a year as we achieved all that. And we watched in 2021 as our ladies played Texas A&M. And I was convinced, had it not been for a questionable call at the end of the game, we would have beaten that number 2 seed. Why not Troy? Baseball. If Coastal Carolina can go to and win the national championship in Omaha, I would say, why not Troy? And our men, I would remind you of this, men's basketball. 2 weeks ago, we witnessed Florida Atlantic University play in the Final Four. And I need not remind those of you who have kept up with Trojan athletics that we played Florida Atlantic University, the Owls, and we sent the Hoot Owls back to Florida Atlantic on many occasions because we hold a 21-12 advantage over the Owls. They went to the Final Four. Why not Troy? But whatever success we enjoy in the future, you have to point to the past. It's like the turtle on the fence post. He didn't get there by himself. And that's the legacy that we bring to this place tonight. Those who have contributed so much in building a foundation, I think, that's second to none. We have all the ingredients, and I would say, why not Troy? May God bless our honorees and their families and great friends who are here this evening, and may God bless the future of this great university. Thank you.
Gentlemen now. At this time, we will begin the induction ceremony for the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame class of 2023. Will Mike Amos, class of 2023, please stand? A member of the 1965 Troy State football team, Mike Amos has been a fixture in Troy athletics for the last 50-plus years since his graduation in 1970. Born and raised in Troy, Amos is a past president and longtime member of the Troy University National Alumni Board and a local fixture on television and print media, where he has spent his life promoting Troy athletics and its student athletes. He received Troy University's highest honor, the Trojan Award, and was named Alumnus of the Year in 2008. Amos continues to work for the Alumni Association. Dubbed Troy's superfan by the Dothan Eagle, he has organized innumerable road trips for Trojan fans to see their favorite teams on the road. In 1984, he was a founding father of the Troy Athletic Action Club, which started Football Night that he hosted, and the very successful Drawdown fundraiser that still continues today. Following his retirement from ADECA in 1998, he created the Today in LA morning television show, which ran for 25 years. Additionally, Amos has spent countless hours over the past 40 years broadcasting local youth sports games, in addition to the Troy University Homecoming Parade and other local events for the community.
Well, I played football. I had a scholarship, so I came, and it didn't last very long. But with a 180-pound linebacker, even back then was a little bit too small. But of course, we had a great student body back then, and I can't think of Troy not being a great place to go to school. I would say this very seriously. Of course, my precious Lord is my Savior, and He comes first. And then my family, my wife Carol, and my 3 children come second, of course, and then family and friends, and then Troy University. It means a lot to me. In fact, it's sort of been my way of life for a long time. Being involved in being a fan of Troy. CBS carried the game in '84, and their ratings went off the charts. And of course it's such a huge, dramatic. It's the most dramatic win that I've ever been a part of. And I jumped that wall too. My daughter jumped the wall, and my son jumped the wall. Everybody was on the field. I've known her since we were in the 3rd grade, and sure enough, she became my bride, and my sweet bride, and I'm so proud of her. And of course, we've got 3 beautiful children, Rebecca and Camille and Michael, and got 3 grandchildren. I'm awfully proud of them. After I retired from state government, I went to work, of course, part-time with Alumni Affairs. But I was also involved with Troy Cable for over 35 years. I started a show called Today in LA 25 years ago, and I just sort of pulled out after the first of the year. But I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I felt like I was able to promote all things that were Troy. The Action Club, we started off cooking chickens, and selling watermelons, and filling pickup trucks of watermelons and taking them to the team after practice. Gross $30,000 each year. But the thing that back then we were giving away a van. First of all, a van, and then we realized we were paying $16,000, $18,000 for the van, and we weren't making as much money for the team. Then we moved back down to a Cadillac. We started giving away the Cadillac. Johnny Williams is a great friend of mine. I used to go out with him some to try to raise money, and we were successful. But he's just a special guy, and he's going to be successful everywhere he goes. Oh, it means an awful lot. I'm very humble. I would have never thought that I would receive this honor, and it is an honor to me to be on the Hall of Fame. And like I told somebody else, I'll wear that ring proudly.
Congratulations. Congratulations Congratulations to Mike Amos and his family. University Sports Hall of Fame. Representing the family of Cheryl Busby, would fellow World War II veteran Mr. Roy Drinkard please stand? Mr. Busby and Mr. Drinkard share the unique experience of both being members of our greatest generation.
The first All-American in Troy football history, Cheryl Busby blocked an incredible 23 punts in his 4-year career, including 11 in his All-America season in 1939. He holds the Troy program records for blocks in a career, in a season, and in a game after blocking 4 punts in Troy's victory over Memphis in 1937. Busby, a 198-pound end, was a pass-catching sensation who led Troy to a 7-4 overall record, including a perfect 4-0 mark in the Alabama Intercollegiate Conference. The season highlight was the finale against Jacksonville State, where Troy defeated the Gamecocks 27-0 to clinch the conference title. Busby would later become the first Troy alum to play in the NFL, playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1940. Busby was a heroic member of the greatest generation in American history. Raised in the Great Depression, he was a decorated Army Air Corps veteran of World War II. United as a country in the face of evil, the greatest generation came together to sacrifice and shape America and the Troy University that we love. Following his courageous service, Busby returned to the area to coach high school football, primarily at Highland Home. A native of Montgomery, Alabama, Cheryl Busby helped to initiate a standard of individual athletic excellence in football that has remained a hallmark of Troy University athletics and Troy Trojan football to this day.
Congratulations to the family of Cheryl Busby on his induction into the Sports Hall of Fame at Troy University, class of 2023. Will Rodney Donaldson, class of 2023, please stand?
A tremendous two-sport star for Troy, Rodney Donaldson earned all-conference honors on the baseball diamond, led the Trojans to conference titles in both baseball and basketball, and ranks among the all-time greats on the hardwood in Troy history. The 11th leading scorer in program history, Donaldson finished his basketball career with 1,363 points playing for the legendary Don Maestri, and was the first 1,000-point scorer in Troy's Division I history. To this day, Donaldson ranks among the top 10 in program history in points per game, field goals made, three-pointers made, free throw percentage, assists, and steals, and helped lead the Trojans to the 1993 East Coast Conference title. On the baseball diamond, Donaldson led Troy to a Mid-Continent Conference championship, earned a pair of all-conference nods, and was drafted by the Florida Marlins in the 17th round of the 1997 MLB draft. Donaldson had the game-winning RBI in Troy's 1995 NCAA Play-In Series victory over Wright State in the bottom of the ninth inning, which advanced the Trojans to an NCAA regional appearance in Tallahassee. He earned first-team all-conference honors in 1996 after hitting .368 with 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 7 home runs, and finished his career batting at a .329 clip with 16 doubles and 11 homers. Donaldson was briefly a member of the Troy football team before focusing his efforts on basketball and baseball.
I was actually recruited by Troy in basketball because of just summer camp. So we came to Troy in my high school and played summer camp here, and I got to talking and just joking with Coach Felix about being a shooter. My brother ended up becoming a football coach, the wide receiver coach here, and they were actually recruiting my wide receiver. And while watching his film, Coach Kent said, well, and Coach Blayton said, well, who's the quarterback? And then my brother Duke actually said, well, that's my brother. And Coach Blayton's response was, why aren't we recruiting him? So when I got to Troy, it was funny because when I got to Troy my first 3 days, Dr. Hawkins was trying to get in contact with me. And I didn't really know who he was, and I wasn't returning the call. And because he wanted to see who this guy that was planning on coming to Troy and playing 3 sports. But it's all I've ever known. And so just coming to Troy and knowing that, you know, I had the confidence that I could play all 3. Friends that I met at Troy, lifelong friends, people, it's without a doubt my frat brothers. I think me walking into that room that night as a young man and being embraced by 14 guys and us becoming brothers and them accepting me for who I am and helping me become a better person was probably the best thing that happened to me at Troy. My 4 kids, so Trey, who's Rodney Donaldson III, Zoe, Reed, and Presley. So my 4 kids are you know, the biggest joy for me and doing it for them and having them be a part of this and hopefully giving them something to let them know that this is obtainable for them. Getting inducted to the Hall of Fame and what it means to me is it's such a surreal moment because I didn't like see it coming. You know, I wouldn't really coming to Troy. You don't think, well, I'm coming here, I'm going to Hall of Fame. Like, the truth is, I was just playing, you know? I came here from a small town in Cairo, and I wanted to show people that, you know, and that when I left, I wanted them to say, you know, that kid could play.
Congratulations to Rodney Donaldson and his family on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame. On behalf of Chris Force, will former golf coach Mike Griffin please stand?
One of the most successful coaches in Troy athletics history, Chris Force led the Troy women's golf program to 3 NCAA Division II national championships and 3 other top 4 performances, plus a second-place finish in the 1982 AIAW National Tournament before the formation of the women's tournament at the Division II level. Force graduated from Troy in August of 1981 and was named the head coach of the women's team the following month. A PGA Class A card holder, Force led the Trojans to their first national title in 1984 in just his 4th season as head coach, and followed with 2 more titles in 1986 and 1989. In addition, 3 Trojans earned All-America honors during his coaching tenure. All told, Force's impressive teams combined for 3 national titles, a runner-up finish in 1988, a 3rd-place finish in 1987, and a 4th-place finish in 1985. Following his Troy career, he coached professionally and was general manager at Willow Creek Golf Club in Spartanburg, South Carolina, until his passing from cancer in 2010. Coach Force's influence upon the women's golf program at Troy University was profound, even years after his collegiate coaching career ended, and his impact on Troy University athletics and the Troy community, as well as the sport of golf, is felt even to this day.
Congratulations to Chris Force on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2023. Will Carl Hollis please stand?
Considered to be one of the best basketball players ever to play at Troy, Carl Hollis was once the all-time leading scorer in Troy men's basketball history, and he currently ranks 5th in scoring in program history with 1,747 points. The 1975 Gulf South Conference Player of the Year, he was the first player in conference history to earn all-conference honors in 3 or more seasons. In addition to receiving All-American Honorable Mention distinction following his sophomore and junior seasons, Hollis helped lead the Trojans to the 1977 Gulf South Conference regular season championship, plus a berth and victory over Jacksonville State in the 1976 NCAA South Regional Tournament. He ended his Troy career not only as the program scoring leader, but also as the leader in rebounds and field goals made. To this day, he holds the career mark for field goals made with 789 and ranks 2nd in program history in rebounds with 1,124. Following his playing career, Hollis served his community as a police officer, preacher, and teacher, including a successful basketball coaching career at Charles Henderson High School.
It was really a family thing. I have 4 brothers who are scholarship athletes in basketball. So our house was the haven for basketball on Saturdays and Sunday afternoons after church, where we would have 15, 20 guys in the yard playing basketball. We was playing on the dirt back then, and so I just grew up around the game, grew up around guys that played the game and loved the game, and it became a part of me, and I wanted to be better than some of them, so I worked a little harder. I was actually highly recruited by a lot of D1 schools, and I was a country boy. And when I visited a lot of D1 schools and got with athletes, there's a lot of stuff actually going on that I didn't fit into. In the bigger cities, I've always been a country-oriented guy. I just never liked the big cities. So I actually came to Troy State after I had visited several other schools, and I actually liked it, and because it wasn't as big as it is now. It was a D2 school, and everything was just nice. And I went home, and that made my decision to come here. I met my wife coming out of Sartain Hall. I'll never forget, it was raining, and she had an umbrella, and I didn't have one, and I thought I was cool. And I said, "Hey, Mama, let me get on the umbrella with you." And she turned, she said, "I'm not your mama." And I said, "Ooh." I said, "You mean you're gonna let me get wet?" She said, "You need to get wet." I have 2 children, and both of them, I coached them in rec league baseball and softball, and then they played middle school basketball, and then they got to the high school. They played high school basketball, so they was in the same school bus with me from 9th grade to 12th. Practice over the holidays, 6 hours a day. We have 2 sessions, 3 hours in the morning, 3 in the evening, and we wanted to be a little wild at times, so he would change the 6:30 a.m. practice to 9:30 a.m. to 12, and then we would come back at 9 at night to 12 midnight, so we had to go to bed. It was a journey, a good journey. It was a good experience. We was in the Gulf South Conference back then. University of North Alabama was tough. They was ranked 1 in the nation, and they came in down here, and they brought 6 or 7 trailway buses of spectators, and we sent them home with a loss. Practice was strictly business. We loved it, though. We would get to practice 30, 40 minutes early, be shooting, and we stay after shooting free throws, so we loved it. We loved to win. In the year we was undefeated in the conference, we loved that. It's one of the greatest honors that you could look for as being an athlete from a university. I was inducted in the Wiregrass Hall of Fame years ago, but you know, it was nothing like this, because this is where I went to school, and this is where my heart has been over the years, and it really means a lot. It means so much that I don't talk about it much, because I tear up, because it's a great honor. It's a great honor.
Congratulations to Carl Hollis and his family on being inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2023 at Troy University. Barbara Sherwood, class of 2023, please stand.
A dynamic player turned top collegiate coach, Barbara Sherwood was a 3-time team captain for the Trojans and finished her career as the winningest softball player in program history. Troy won 176 games during her 4-year career, including a school record 52 games her freshman season. As a sophomore, Sherwood helped lead Troy to a Mid-Continent Conference championship and berth in the NCAA tournament, where the Trojans knocked off Southeast Missouri State in the NCAA play-in series before advancing to the Midwest Regional in Tallahassee, Florida. In addition to her prowess on the softball field, Sherwood also played volleyball for the Trojans, where she earned academic all-conference honors. Following her playing career, Sherwood coached at Troy for 7 seasons as an assistant before becoming an assistant coach at Wisconsin, Florida State, and Virginia Tech, and eventually becoming the head coach at Portland State. Sherwood also coached at the professional level for the Akron Racers in the National Pro Fast Pitch League, where she was named Coach of the Year in 1999.
How I arrived at Troy, Coach Atkins originally recruited me off of that VHS tape, of course. And then Melanie Davis came to see me play. And fun fact, the first time she ever came to see me play, before the game even started, I took a bad hop to the temple, and I proceeded to play the rest of the tournament with a concussion. I guess I played well. So she ended up agreeing with him, and she signed me, and it was the best, opportunity I've ever been given. I had so many fond memories from Troy, so many great experiences. Being able to play volleyball and softball, I remember being a girl from Florida and going up to Buffalo, New York to play the University of Buffalo, and they had so much snow on the ground, and all of us were in awe of, how much snow was there. I also got to go to Niagara Falls, so that was an incredible experience. Being on the softball team, we got to go to the NFL Football Hall of Fame when we went up to play Youngstown State. Driving down to Orlando, rewriting the lyrics of, Bryan Adams' Summer of '69 song into the season of '95. And now we still scream that at the top of our lungs every time it comes on. Oh, my twin brother is the epitome of biggest fan. He didn't miss any game. He obviously came to Troy with me also. He's still my best friend. He has always been there. I can't think of a better human either than my twin brother. My mom really played a huge role in my life. She showed me that you could work hard and be a working woman and be a great mom. She was at all of my games. She was my biggest support. She is my biggest fan. I would like to take a second to thank Carrie McGee. She's been my rock. She's been with me for most of my professional career. She has gone to 6 states with me and countless adventures, and I'm very grateful for all the sacrifices she has made. My sister, Becky, is the best big sister. She's one of the most supportive people. She's moved boxes for me many times. She's given me 4 wonderful nephews, and I couldn't ask for a better big sister that's protected me and reached out and loved me. Hands down, the most influential person in my life is Melanie Davis. She got me to Troy. She gave me a college scholarship. She let me play volleyball and softball. She gave me an opportunity to coach, trusted me enough to be her student assistant, graduate assistant, first assistant. I wouldn't have been where I am now if it weren't for her. Winning the conference championships at Western Illinois after losing the first game, going through the loser's bracket, having to double dip DePaul to win the whole thing, one of the greatest experiences of my whole life. Then we obviously had to come back home and play in a play-in bid against Southeastern Missouri State. We had to beat them 2 out of 3 times. We ended up beating them the first 2. Being inducted into the Troy Hall of Fame is truly an honor. I'm one of the biggest Troy fans ever. I was and still am. Obviously, I bleed silver, black, and cardinal. I'm still on Game Changer every day, watching how softball's doing. I'm still all over the news, seeing how football's doing. I'm going to their bowl games. I'm showing up at, the conference tournament to watch softball, etc. I bleed these colors through and through, and I'm totally elated to be going to the Troy Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to Barbara Sherwood on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame. Would Mark Smart please stand?
A two-time national champion player, Mark Smart was one of the most dominant hitters of his time for the Troy baseball program, and his impressive numbers have stood the test of time in the storied history that comprises Troy baseball. He helped lead the Trojans to the 1986 and 1987 NCAA Division II national championships with a combined 84, 18, and 1 overall record and a remarkable 22-0 postseason record. Smart hit .405 as a junior, the third best single season average in program history at the time, and a mark that still ranks 6th today. He ranks 4th all-time in program history with a .379 career batting average, while his .480 on-base percentage ranks 9th all-time. A two-time All-Gulf South Conference selection for the Trojans, Smart was named All-Region in 1987, in addition to landing a spot on the College World Series All-Tournament team. Smart went into coaching after his playing career, serving as the head coach at West Alabama for 6 seasons and at Troy for 5 seasons. Additionally, he was an assistant under Hall of Fame head coach Bobby Pierce for 13 seasons. All told, Smart wore a Troy uniform in 1,173 games, the most of any player or coach in program history.
Unique circumstance. The coach was supposed to come sign me a scholarship. He was unable to come, so we put it in the mail. The next game we played, Troy State assistant coach Mike Russell came to our game. We spoke after the game. He showed interest. I came down for a visit. I was in the middle of confusion, committed to go to Columbus, loved Troy State, met Chase Riddle after the game, was in awe of the head coach, and the Columbus coach found out that I had interest in Troy. He pulled the scholarship offer after that. I was very fortunate that Mike came to the next game and offered me a chance to come to Troy, or I might have been a Columbus College Cougar, who we actually beat in the 1986 National Championship game, but it was the allure of Chase Riddle and the aura that he presented to me that one meeting. I remember it to this day, and something that I'm forever thankful for, to have the opportunity to come to Troy. The impact that Troy athletics and the university had on me is it helped shape me going forward in terms of what I learned and how I grew up here. It helped shape me and understand the priorities that I should have, how you treat people, how you respect others. The two people I want to thank the most, Mike Russell, who got me here as a player, assistant coach, recruited me. Without him identifying me as a player and encouraging me to come, I wouldn't have played here. And then Bobby Pierce. Bobby pursued the job in 2002, was able to get that job, was hired in July of 2002, reached out to me and offered me the chance to be his assistant coach, and I quickly said yes. I had the great fortune of meeting my future wife, Debbie, while I was a student here. We met at a local establishment, had a great time. That led into an opportunity to get to know each other better, and coach's wife shares in every side of the coach. The great wins, the tough losses, the long road trips, the recruiting, days away from home, raising children on their own. She deserves an A+ in every way. My two children, Taylor and Chase, both were extremely supportive. They loved growing up around the ball field. They were at most every game they could be. They were at practices quite a bit. They were both athletes. Taylor played softball here at Troy. Chase played baseball here at Troy. I can promise you this. I am so thankful to be included in this Hall of Fame. but I am by no means a Hall of Famer. The people around me have been Hall of Fame throughout my time. Having the chance to represent the school you love and the people you love, it was the most rewarding experience of my life, and it's something that I'll always cherish. And that was easily the most rewarding thing about my opportunity to be here quite as long as I was.
Congratulations to Mark Smart on being inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame. As a final tribute to this class of 2023, please enjoy this video highlight presentation. We would like these inductees to please stand for one last round of applause. As we conclude tonight, I'd like to invite family members, friends, and former players here to the front of the stage to take pictures and visit with these inductees. Thank you so much for honoring this class with your attendance. Thanks so much for everybody who took part, for everybody who helped to honor these people, and in that sense, to continue to support and advance Troy University. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, here's to the school we love. We are Trojans, one and all. Thank you so much. We'll see you next year.